What's up, YouTube fans? Today, we're going to take a look at the Action Toys Machine Robo Bike Robo, or as we know him, the GoBots Cykill. So this is actually officially licensed by Action Toys. They have the Machine Robo line. This is really the only masterpiece scale version of GoBots they've ever made. They have a smaller line which has a lot of the characters, but for whatever reason they haven't made the next one of this. I hope they do. But this was, I purchased this from TF Masterpiece Man on Instagram. I'll put a link here so you can check his page out. But he also goes by Dusty, so thanks for selling this to me at a really reasonable price. This guy's hard to find. This is actually 5 years old, this figure. So definitely at this point, hard to get. Now, we did get a couple other Masterpiece versions of this guy. They were third party, so we had the DX9 Salmore, which was kind of really stylized. I'll put an image here so you can take a look at that. Not quite my cup of tea. And then we got the KFC Toe Cutter, which came out recently. That one actually looked pretty promising, but once I got it in hand, it had problems. And of course, it just is not officially licensed. So this is the definitive version of Cykill. Now, one of the cool things about this is you do get the actual Cykill face. So this one is more like the toy face that we got with the toy. It's got that silver with the yellow, and that looks really good. A little dark gunmetal gray underneath, but it's a really good looking head sculpt. Speaking of the paint, we have the yellow with the black here, silver all down the arms and the thighs. A little bit of yellow paint here on the knees. The wheels are painted on the rims with that same silver. Gunmetal gray here on the sides. You got the gunmetal here on the exhaust, which we'll see more in the bike mode. And then on the back, you got a little black paint, a little bit of white here. The plastic is actually this really nice shiny plastic. It looks like it's painted, but it's just a nice glossy plastic. So I like the way they did that. And for its articulation, the head can rotate around. It has a cut joint here, so it rotates like that, which is kind of cool. But I wish it had a little bit more up and down. Only goes down to there and up to there. Very, very limited there. The shoulder rotates all the way around. The wheel is actually held in by a magnet. It's really kind of cool. You put it like there and it sucks in. Magnet's in there. I really like that. It holds nicely. Of course, as I was showing you too, I knocked it off, but it works. It stays. Shoulder goes up to there. You have a rotation at the bicep here. Double jointed elbow gets you the full bend and a nice piece here to make it look like an elbow. So appreciate that. A rotation at the wrist. You have two fingers here on a pin that you can articulate individually, and then the thumb is on its own pin, which makes sense for this character to have a hand like this. You have a rotation at the waist all the way around. You have an ab crunch, gets you all the way down. Very nice. Deep ab crunch. You have hip skirts that move out of the way. Allows the leg to go up to there. My legs, the hip joints are a little bit loose, so they don't necessarily hold. So anybody out there, if you know how to tighten these, I can't actually get this apart to tighten anything. I might have to just use some kiki, but if you know how to do it, let me know. Out to the side on a ratchet joint. Nice tight ratchet joint. It is, the first click is a little bit on the wide side. So that's straight, and then one click out is right there. It works okay for me, but I just wanted to point that out. It is a little bit on the wide side. There is a hip skirt back here that just moves out of the way if you needed to, for the leg to go backwards. Cat is over here. For the knee, you get a single joint knee, but it's well past 90 degrees due to the sculpt. They get it all the way up to there, which is really nice. You have an ankle tilt. If you move this cover down panel out of the way, you get a little bit more out of that. And you get forward and backward on that. And for his accessories, you do get the fixed hands. Now, this is really meant for transformation, so I would recommend not using those here. But if you take these hands off, you have a little slot there, and you can fit these blast effects in here. These are awesome looking blast effects. I love the way they did these. And then if you put both on there, he can be really... That's awesome. So very nice looking overall. You also get some alternate faces. Now there's the standard face more like the toy look. The yellow eyes, silver, and then the gunmetal down there. To get the face out, you're going to press this button on top. It actually ejects the face, so if you press it, it just kind of pops out. A little button there you can see. And you can replace it with the Cykill face, which is really cool. Here it is, and it is magnetic. So as you put it on there, it kind of sucks in to the head and stays nicely. But that is the perfect face sculpt. Love how that looks. There's that one. I love that it had the 5 o'clock shadow on him. That's awesome. And there it is with the angry fighting Cykill face. I think that's one of the best ones that he has. So I'll leave that one on there. And for a quick size comparison, there it is next to the KFC version of Wreck-Gar. And I'm showing this because they did actually make their version of Cykill, so he's exactly the same height as this. And then there is the Transform Element Optimus Prime. You can see he's kind of a shorter bot. I mean, he's done in his own scale. It's not meant to fit in with the Masterpiece scale. Now, we don't have any other Masterpiece GoBots, or at least as far as I know, I've never gotten one. So I can't wait if they make more, especially if they're officially licensed. But there you go for a sense of scale. All right, now let's get this guy transformed into his bike mode. And just to forewarn, he is a bit of a parts former, but for any real Masterpiece bike, they are going to be parts formers because the wheels can't just magically go where they need to go. But you're going to take these wheels off. They're attached by magnets. We're going to take these hands off, so unpeg these from here, and you're going to replace them with these. You do need to do that, otherwise you're going to have a hard time attaching the wheel. Actually, you won't be able to attach the wheel. So swap them out with these. And now that's ready. So come to the top here. We're going to lift up on the head, which will create this little gap here. Then we're going to take these panels here and unpeg the arms from those. Allow you to take these, fold them back like that. And then these are going to go on a double hinge into here. So we're going to take this, double hinge that inwards. This is going to fold upwards. And it should end up sitting inside of here like that, with the arms sticking kind of out at an angle. Right, same on this side, rotate this up. Rotate this in on the double hinge, and then set that in like that. And we do want to cover up this face. You don't have to, but since the face kind of is visible, press the button, eject the face out. And then you get this just white panel to cover it up. So go ahead and get that pushed in there, and now you have that smooth white surface face. All right, so you need to rotate the arms so that you get that on the inside. See the two tab pieces, and then rotate the hands so you get those at the wheel pieces. So go ahead and get that inserted, tabbed in, and then put the other side in, obviously. And there's the front wheel. Back wheel, you can lift this up, lift out these hip skirts and rotate them to the side. Those are just going to sit like that. Come to the leg, fold this panel in, open up this panel here, and rotate the leg down. And this is going to come actually all the way around and end up sitting like this and kind of basically sit on top of his knee. This is going to rotate inwards and then fold up and into his leg. Right, so that's basically what it's going to look like. The other side is a little bit different because it's got the kickstand in it. But go ahead and fold that up. Open this up. Rotate the knee. Fold this around. And that's going to sit on top. There's the kickstand I mentioned. So you can just rotate that down like that. Rotate the foot. Collapse that into the leg. And then once we have both legs kind of ready, we have to slide these thighs. So these are going to slide on the inside here, like that. So there's a cut joint right at the middle of the thigh, which is nice that it's pretty well hidden. And that'll get your leg pieces closer together. Bring these up, take your wheel. It has the same little tab that we had on the front wheel, so get that. I think these wheels are interchangeable. There's no front and back wheel, so it doesn't really matter. get these rotated up and in, and tab that wheel in. Tab these pieces together, they're just tabbing in right here. And then this is going to come down, there's 2 tabs here going to fit into his chest. Again, another hidden little tab piece. These are going to come down and tab right into the chest. And I love that they're just hidden there, you don't really see them. That's kind of cool. Right? And then fold these up. And the angle of the wheel, it can be, adjusted, but adjusted so that the stand will stand him up. Right there is Bike Robo in his vehicle mode. Really nice looking. Got nice rubber tires here. It does roll nicely on those. Got the kickstand and the engine there is in die cast. The exhaust, I believe, is plastic, but it's very solid and looks like die cast. Got this nice gunmetal chrome. I think this piece might be die cast too, but it's painted nicely in this metallic gunmetal. I love the way the wheels look. Nice fairing here. Now you do have a face cover here on the fairing, on the bottom of the fairing, but you don't really need it because you're not going to really see the face handlebars there. It's a very simple bike, but it works. I mean, it's effective as his bike mode. Now you can't really use any of the accessories. You can actually put this up if you want, the kickstand, but of course he doesn't balance. These you can kind of fake it. I don't know. You can put them in the exhaust maybe, and they can just sort of sit. They're not really meant for that, but you can do that if you want for display purposes. But again, not meant to go there, but you can kind of fake it if you wanted to. And for size comparison, there it is next to the Keats Fantasy Club version of, I think his name is Gunker, but you can see basically similar size. He's a little bit smaller as a bike. Wheels are pretty much the same exact size, but the bike itself is a lot sleeker. And we did get a version of this guy from KFC. This one is far better, but just wanted to show you for comparison. And just for fun, there it is with the Nightbird Shadow from Takara on there, and looks pretty cool. You can probably put some other figures to ride on her, or maybe even like some 6-inch action figures, but looks good. So final recommendations on the Action Toys Bike Robo, or Cykill. I'm going to give this a 5 out of 5. I love this figure. This is the version of Cykill to have out of all the ones that are out there. I mean, it's really no contest. I'm not going to do a versus or anything like that. I'm sure people are wondering. I'm not going to do a versus with KFC or with DX9. It's not worth it. This guy is it. Now, he does come with a lot of really cool accessories. That's one thing I really love. You can have the toy look or the Japanese look if you want to, and that's nice. I like that you get the hands here that are articulated. Those are really good and accurate. But if you want, you can use the blast effects. I'm probably going to display with one hand and one blast effect. That's also really nice. The only negative I really have is these hip joints are a little bit on the loose side on my copy, but as you can see, he poses just fine. I have no problem. So it doesn't really affect me, but I wish it was a little bit tighter. Now, for comparison, I forgot to show Megatron here. So just to show you, he is a lot shorter than Megatron. They're kind of their own scale. Now, I really hope they continue making these guys because they're really well done. They're really well made. Good materials, good accessories, good accuracy to the original cartoon. I mean, everything that I would want in a GoBots line, this is it. So I really hope they make more. So that's it for today. Thanks to Dusty from TF Masterpiece Man on IG for sending this to me, and we'll see you next time.